I'll never forget going to that first Mommy and Me group and realize there's something very different here. My
Right.
kid doesn't smile. All he does is cry.
Right.
And that was the first, like, something is not the same. And I didn't want to socialize with other mothers.
Right. So there was your first grief right there as a
Yeah.
mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you even knew the magnitude of.
And it took years of Peter's 37. Autism really wasn't as prevalent. And
or easy to diagnose, and he was higher functioning.
I am mentally strong, learn it, live it, level up, regardless what life brings. I will live mentally strong.
And so when did you decide, I'm going to start my own practice and not work for someone who was telling me not to talk?
So my first son, I have three boys. They're men. So when Peter was born, that was in 1989. I had worked for other firms, and my dream in college was to be a small town architect. There are times I'll be sitting in my office and I look out on that idyllic Stockbridge scene and pinch myself, being, is this real? This is what I wanted. You know? So
Yeah.
yeah. So
And so that was in 1989 is when
1989.
Yeah.
And
you've grown. All your sons work for you, or
no, not at all. Not at all. I have my oldest son and my youngest son are on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
They live together. My oldest son is higher functioning. He has a full-time job, a great job. He helps his brother a lot. His brother has a lot of struggles. He has caretakers that come, to see him.
So you've lived through some hardship, some grief. We talk about, I don't know if you know my story, but I've lost 3 children and my husband. And 2 of my children did have this rare neurodegenerative condition they thought was autism when it first started, and then it progressed to. But, we don't talk enough about the stress of having a special needs child. So you're running a business and a family with essentially 2 special needs children.
And it's very interesting. I got a call from one of my friends who's a therapist once, and she said, I have someone who's doing their dissertation. She wants to interview a mom of an autistic, whatever. I said, sure, she can talk to me. So we talked, and I didn't think anything of it. And then I got the transcript, and I read it, and I said, whoa, that's me? I went through this. I went through this. I went through that. And my ex-husband was not very supportive at all. It was tough, but I guess I was just brought up, just grin and bear it, and put your big girl pants on and don't cry and don't complain.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately, I think we live in a world like that is the only way to survive, because we don't have a system.
Right.
And that's, I talk about the mentally strong method all the time, because in the midst of me going through this horrible trauma, lost my first son, then my second son was diagnosed with a rare neurodegenerative condition, lots of medical trauma, in and out of the hospital, always thinking he was going to die. And in this overwhelm, even though I was a professional, I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner, I didn't know, the coping mechanisms didn't work. I didn't have a system. So I would be fighting, and then crashing. Fighting, and then crashing. Right? And that's how most women are surviving that have these things going on in their life. And so during that process, I didn't know it was going to be for other people. I thought it was going to be for myself, right?
Interesting.
I learned how to take care of myself.
Yeah.
And I realized that it was a system and it was a flywheel, and I could repeat this thing over and over again. And when my son died in 2019, I was like, well, I have to share this with the world.
Wow.
And so that's when I opened Mentally Strong and started. What I didn't realize is my daughter was going to die. So my daughter, who was not sick, died in her sleep. And I can tell you, the Mentally Strong method helped me through those times, and I knew I was cognitively using it intellectually, but it was my safety net when my daughter died, right? Like, the depths of depression, and it was like, okay, no, I have a system. I can get, out of this.
Well, you were lucky.
Yeah.
I've gone through a whole life of depression.
Yeah.
And actually,
are you willing to share about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I had a lot of trauma at the age of 18. I had a brother who died. I had a grandfather who died. My best friend was killed in a car accident, and my parents got divorced. But I had to go back to college that semester and just kind of move ahead with that.
Do you ever feel like you were able to create a system, or you've just been in survival mode?
That's a really good question, because now I through so much therapy, and I've also done psychedelic mushroom therapy, which changed my life.
Okay.
Really changed my life.
Yeah.
I've done a lot
What made you think of that, and tell us how it changed your life?
I did a tremendous amount of research. I had done EMDR at the time also. I'd gone to retreats. I hit rock bottom again. I called my psychopharmacologist and I said, do not suggest more drugs. I said, I can't take any more drugs. I just can't. And I said, I can't go through this again. It's debilitating. And as you know, you're the kind of person, you just wake up every day and do what you have to do.
Yeah.
So, and I said, I've researched this. And I looked into the ketamine, and anyway, I knew someone who had done the mushrooms. He actually was a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And when I brought up the idea to my guy, and he said, I think it's worked very well for several of my patients.
Right.
I said, but I don't have anybody. He said, I'll find you somebody. Mind you, he's in Seattle. He found somebody in my town.
Nice.
So I've done journeys, 3 or 4 journeys.
Okay.
The first one was my brother came to see me, and he laughed at me. And he couldn't stop laughing at me. And he said, you're not supposed to be depressed. You're not dying. He said, live life. He goes, you have gifts. You have gifts. And I, anyway, turned into a tree, and my kids were coming out of me. And da-da-da-da-da. So that was the first major release of him. And it felt like I had gained a piece of my life that I could, I kind of felt I had to be depressed all the time.
Right.
Right. And then you go further, other journeys were the mother wound of a mother who always told me I wasn't good enough. You're stupid, you're whatever.
Yeah.
So they've been really helpful. I do a lot of talk therapy also.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're on the journey. I think many women never start the journey or don't feel like they're making progress in the journey of that.
I just feel like it's never enough. I mean, because it comes back. It comes back.
Well,
I'm fascinated to hear what the
and I've done experiences as well.
Oh.
And so I'm very familiar with that. I actually do meditation where I can get deep into connecting with my children.
Wow.
So all those things are definitely part of the journey, the healing. But we still need a system to fall back into, right? Because those are still just treating a symptom or a trauma and the Mentally Strong method gives you this system of, okay, that helped with this trauma, that helped with this grief. And then, what am I going to do about this? And then I still have, depression going on. And there's there's genetics around that too. I mean,
Sure.
one of the things
My
I do
mother
in
was
my
very depressed,
my
yeah.
intensives is we take, if you've ever done any genetic testing, we
I've done all that.
upload the genetic data
Mhm.
into AI and really, pull out what, whether you need certain supplements, whether you need what medications would actually be helpful and why.
Huh.
So there's, we're physical beings as well, and our mental health is connected to our physical. We're spiritual beings. I think psychedelic experiences help us open the door to that we are spiritual beings.
Right.
And
Right.
that's not a religion. That is a
Right. Sure.
a connection with
Yeah.
what is bigger than us, and being able to integrate all of those things. And I think what happens a lot of times when women are our age, it's like we've survived our whole life. And now, like you said, even like your sons with special needs, like they are on their own. They have the system right in place for them. So now it's time to take care of yourself.
I'm always my youngest son always throws me a curve somewhere, though. He's starting to have physical disabilities, and he's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But his team has told me, Pam, you gotta just be his mom. We'll take care of this. So yeah.
And he's on medications and things like that to kind of help.
Yeah, he just is on. He's on antidepressants now. He's having trouble sleeping, but he also has EDS, hypermobility. So that's just starting to debil anyway.
Yeah. No, I know it's a lot.
Yeah.
And being able to manage all those things, manage a business. Is your business in a place where you can step away and take care of yourself? And
I really, in the last few years, I started going to yoga retreats, and that was a major change because really we had to journal. So I started journaling a lot. I did the artist way. Have you ever done that? I've done that twice. So I journal, I meditate.
Well, I don't know if Taylor told you, you get a free ticket to our next event for doing the podcast. So
she didn't tell me I get anything. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
So, and thank you for being, vulnerable about the journey and about, you saw our flywheel of like think, organize,
I got to
choose.
point all the things that
Yeah. Well, you've had a lot of grief.
Yeah.
And what people...
I have severe anxiety too, but I take med, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and anxiety is not a bad thing. Everyone has anxiety, right? It's,
right.
Can we manage it? Can we make it productive? Can we get excited about what's coming next?
Right.
What is coming next for you?
I think the most exciting thing that's going on is my son joined my business a month ago.
Yeah.
He's my neurotypical son who he himself, really, I forced him to help out with his two brothers, and that's a burden in itself.
Right.
So it's just so exciting. He said to me, I've never felt this way about a job before. He's 35, so he just said it's just so.
And he's an architect as well.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Majored in marketing, minored in art.
Well, we all need a marketer.
So he's handling a lot of business stuff, freeing me up to do more of what I want to do. He's bringing in a lot of collaboration. He believes that very strongly. I was brought up with the old school. I'm the boss. You work. Yeah.
Right.
So that's pretty exciting. I'm dating, so that's kind of exciting.
Okay. Yeah. How was that? I haven't started yet.
Don't know. I don't know. I ended up hiring an agency because I really couldn't. I don't I live nowhere, so that has a lot to do
Okay.
with it.
Yeah.
It's
It's
okay. And you may get to, I hear I think the good thing is I was single for 3 years. So I kind of started to enjoy myself for the first time in my life.
I know. I'm enjoying myself. Yes.
With that. It's so weird being, it's strange. Yeah.
So let's go back to grief. Because one of the things, you lost your brother, you said.
Oh, yeah.
But also, people don't talk about the grief of special needs children. Like you
Huge.
lost what you thought or our dreams for our kids, right? We have children. We're like, oh, they're going to, from me, my son was born. My husband was a football coach.
Oh.
And we were a football family. So
Right.
like even his birth announcement was like, Reggie was, drafted for the, NFL team or whatever. And, he played a little bit of football, but never really could actually play football. And so there's these griefs along the way, the day you realize, oh, they're probably never going to get married. And then it's like, oh, well, they may never live by themselves. It's a grief after grief after grief after grief.
Very much so. Now I'm working on I'll never have grandchildren. All my friends are having grandchildren.
Right.
Yeah.
So all three of your boys, you think,
my middle son,
the neurotypical one,
he's gay. But that doesn't mean he and his boyfriend broke up 6 months ago. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
The other two, no.
Right.
My youngest son, what is he? He's bisexual, aromance. He's got lots of words. I think the interesting thing is I'll never forget going to that first Mommy and Me group and realize there's something very different here. My kid doesn't smile. All he does is cry.
Right.
And that was the first, something, it's not the same. And I didn't want to socialize with other mothers.
Right. So there was your first grief right there as a mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you even knew the magnitude of.
And it took years of, Peter's 37. Autism really wasn't as prevalent. And,
or easy to diagnose, and he was higher functioning.
Right. And then then they go to preschool, and the preschoolers they're calling you in. And yeah,
I remember those days. It's hard, and then you just keep pushing through, and you're fighting. Do you feel like you were just fighting your whole motherhood?
There was a lot of it, and then I'm sure this happened to you. You'd meet someone, though. Once in a while, you'd meet that amazing doctor, and they would just be calm with you, and they would talk to you like you were real. And that was huge.
Yeah. I hope I'm that person for my clients for sure.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
I can tell that right now. But you have to have some people along the way, people who've gone through it.
Right.
But you really push away people who just don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
For sure.
death of a child, my mother never came out of it, ever.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to talk about my brother,
I do. I hear that a lot. And I hope to be able to help, people like that, yes, it is literally the worst thing that could happen to you to lose a child, but it doesn't have to ruin your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Was it supposed to be to teach us something? And then my favorite line, and I'm sure you've gotten this. Well, this will make you stronger. I think the last time when I said to somebody, I'm strong enough.
Yeah, I always say there's thousands of people in psych hospitals and jails and homeless on the street that would disagree that not everything that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. we all, in actuality, we all have a breaking point,
Yeah.
right? And, being pushed to that capacity over and over and over again is exhausting.
It's exhausting. And I think that's what happened to me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also, there was one on the wheel of, so I get in a bad place and then I'm in a spin.
Yeah. Of the negative.
Yeah. Negative stuff. But I've really worked on that.
Yeah.
So.
We call it the default mode network. Have you ever heard that term before?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it's where we go when we've hit the capacity and we can't, do the positive talk anymore, right?
But why do you want to make yourself feel worse?
It's just where we go default. Yeah. Well, and it starts in childhood, right? Those negative dialogues, those things that we say to ourselves, it started in childhood.
Yeah.
And then many things in our life reinforced it. I always tell people, when I was a kid, I thought I was stupid. Definitely not definitely not smart. And, at first I think all my accomplishments and the initials behind my name were trying to prove myself, really to myself.
Yeah.
But what I realize now as a business owner, that the things that were tested in academics, like details and being able to read and answer questions, are just my weakness. I'm actually super smart in analyzing things and looking at big picture. And I can take a big picture and I'm just like, nope, and that's a gift that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah. I've always, because, you meet people who are so down on themselves. Well, I can't do that. I said, no, you have gifts. Everyone has gifts. And I try to look in them and say, well, you can do this. I cannot do that.
Right.
So at least they'll leave with
a
little joy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.